the release of the next generation consoles coming out, people have been going back to their old systems and playing old games that they played when they were much younger in life. With the Xbox Series X in particular, you can actually go and use backwards compatibility and play really old games that existed on the Xbox 360 and the original Xbox, which is definitely very cool, and I do kind of envy the fact that Xbox users do have that accessibility option. But then again, I guess the trade-off is that PlayStation has a lot of exclusive games that are really well made and handcrafted up from many selected development teams, and I do appreciate that. But I've been thinking about a certain game series that I used to play a lot when I was a kid. It wasn't like a PlayStation exclusive or anything, it just was something that I remembered playing a lot when I was a kid when I had my PlayStation 2. And unfortunately I don't have my PlayStation 2 anymore, so I couldn't really play it. I didn't really have an option. But when I got my new PC, I thought about some of the stuff that I could do with it, and that involves using certain emulators, like the PlayStation 2 emulator. While now having the option to be able to use the emulator and run certain games very well, actually, I've been testing around with it a little bit. I decided to go ahead and test to see how well it was going to run, and I decided to go ahead and boot up the game Budokai Tenkaichi 2, and it was an experience to relive some of the nostalgia that I had when I was a kid, but I immediately went straight to Tenkaichi 3 because Tenkaichi 2 fucking sucks ass. And the main criticisms I have for it isn't really the gameplay, it's just trying to go through the story and unlocking the characters through the story is kind of a drag, because although it has like a semi-linear open world aspect that you can do, for some reason the game decided it wanted to be an early version of Xenoverse, and it wanted the player to go and get levels, so that way whenever they fight the next boss for a story event, they have to be a specific level in order to do said certain amount of damage. And I'm just like, why? What is the point of that? I didn't really get it. And you had to unlock more options by playing through the game. And it's the same thing with Tenkaichi 3, but you already see what you have as future options for you to be able to have. And it was just really weird that they decided to take Tenkaichi 2 the way that they did. And then when you go straight to Tenkaichi 3, the UI is way more cleaned up. The story, playing through the story isn't a fucking drag. They actually changed it up quite a lot to actually make it significantly different of an experience, and I actually really enjoy it. You don't have to unlock nearly as many characters as you do. A lot of the characters that a lot of people probably want to play as are already straight unlocked when you boot up the game, and it was just a really enjoyable experience, just messing around with it a little bit, but just overall it was a better experience to me overall, and just, I don't know why I distinctly remember playing a lot of Tenkaichi 2, but I just did. But I wanted to go back and play through these games because, like I said, these were the games that I remember playing a lot when I was a kid. And really, if it wasn't for Tenkaichi 2 and 3, I wouldn't have probably continued playing games, as these were pretty much my favorite games at the time, and of course many other games as well when I was playing them as a kid. But if it wasn't for, you know, these Dragon Ball games being out when I was playing video games the most when I was a kid, I probably would have never have gotten into the show Dragon Ball Z, and I would have never went and saw Dragon Ball Super and the original Dragon Ball, and I would never have been able to be encouraged to go watch different anime, and this channel probably would have never existed. I probably wouldn't have kept on going like the way that I have been going if it wasn't for these two games. And I really appreciate the fact that these games came out, and the nostalgia is definitely there, and I do like playing through these games and reliving nostalgia, but of course certain aspects about the game kind of don't hold up anymore because these games came out in like 2006 and 2007 respectively, so some stuff is a little aged, some stuff is a little dated. But if you just want to turn off your brain and just have fun and beat the crap out of Frieza as Kid Gohan, then you can do all you want. It's a little dumb, but I am really enjoying reliving memories. So I just kind of wanted to speak about the game really quickly, just to kind of talk about it a little bit, because gameplay overall is pretty enjoyable. It's a little weird to play though, because I don't remember the controls. I didn't remember the controls actually. And then when I started to have to relearn the controls, I was very confused as to why the button layout was the way that it was. Sometimes when you're playing through the story in Tenkaichi 2, the CPU just kind of spikes in difficulty out of nowhere, and that probably has to do with like the level curve that it has you to have to try to balance out by getting experience on your characters. Which again, that's very weird to decide to do that. Just a couple other stuff, some stuff about the combat is a little bit more reliant than others. In Tenkaichi 2, it was very annoying and difficult to fight against, like, giant, more bigger opponents, like giants, Lord Slug, the Great Apes, and stuff like that, Rudigarn. It was really annoying, but what can you really do about that? So that's kind of it. I just really wanted to talk about the games really quickly, just to have another video out, because I remember playing through these games and I really loved them, and then playing through them again has kind of just brought back a lot of nostalgia, and I really enjoyed it. So give the games a chance, play it for like maybe a few hours. Of course, the story mode is ultimately just reliving through the Dragon Ball Z story all over again, like from the beginning of the series to all the way to the Buu Saga. This was just a time where if you were a new kid on the block and you had never heard of Dragon Ball Z and you picked up Budokai Tenkaichi 3, then this was your first experience with Dragon Ball and you really enjoyed it. That's how it was for me, and I've stuck with it ever since. So that's kind of the end of the video. I just wanted to speak on the game really quickly, just to have another video, just to have something out really quickly. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'll see you guys next one. Have a fantastic day. Leave a comment down below, leave a like, all that stuff, whatever. I'm out. Peace.